And I think that's a big lesson for me, you know, listening and learning from you guys, being so successful in the business is like being able to have a conversation with someone and then actually hear what they're not saying.
Right.
Because you're empathetically listening.
Right.
How can you automate that? At least not until 2100 years, 2100.
You can't. Well, that's
like,
why you can't. That's why I said I'm not gonna get rid of them all together. But I think you're gonna have like people that manage them, like
changes,
you know, they'll have They'll
it'll be
reduce
more
the
difficult
fee.
to just kill it without skill.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, they're gonna. Well, I think you'll have less agents because people will drop out because the fees, you know, the commissions will come down a little. But again, their job will be easier.
I had a full-blown conversation with a broker. It was like they were like, "Oh, we don't believe in 6% all." The whole company. So like that's a culture shock. Like the whole company was like the owner. They were like, "Yeah, we don't believe." So they've convinced themselves to not believe it in at all. Now, right or wrong, I mean, we could argue those platitudes all day long. Who cares? But that really did occur. So it's interesting that you said that, because I don't think you're the only one that thinks that.
Yeah, I don't want it to be that, obviously, but you can see, you know, like you said, you know, you see where things are going. You can just see, like these companies, you know, I think it was Zoom. I think one of these companies got a couple $1 billion investment from Google. One of these auction sites. So when, you know, Google's not a dumb company. They don't just throw billions around. They think it's changing too. You know, and they probably could make it change if it wasn't. If it wasn't changing, you know what I mean? So, you know, you see, sometimes you see it. Like I said, you know, everything progresses over time. So it's a $100,000 house or a $6 million house. It's the exact same amount of work. It is, labor-wise.
Yeah.
And actually probably less than the $6 million house because you're dealing with a more sophisticated seller who's not selling on emotion and like, oh, I raised my kids here, you know. It's probably more work on the $100,000 house, but yet this is $300,000.
It's a different thought process on that.
Yeah, is it $300,000 to sell a house?
So I guess the question is like who you have to become to think on that level where that's okay. Right. And you guys have, because of all the time and money and energy invested into learning the business, at least from me listening.
Yeah, you can just see that, you know, that's a thing in society people aren't going to do forever. I don't think they're going to keep paying $300,000 to sell their home when, you know, it's not. Back in the day when those fees were like that, you were hiring a guy to go out and just go find a buyer. Yeah. And like that guy had to go find a buyer. His network, his skill, his thing, that was what was making it happen. Now they're on these sites.
The internet, it's all connected.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's hard to try to stand out. You know, you stand out against other ones, the same thing, but like again, is it $300,000 to do that?
Well, it's so crazy you're saying it because the reality is, yeah, it's true. And even this conversation where people can see into who your soul is, your heart, your empathy, your knowledge, that brings people to you. Mm-hmm. Whereas different in the past.
Right.
So it's like what we're doing now is just a conversation that will be valuable to people, that will listen to understand it to be better. They may work with you now versus someone else they just saw their face on a billboard that can't talk to them.
Right.
And be real with them. Right? Like, at the end of the day, like, we're telling the truth. It may be right or wrong or whatever. It's the truth for where we're at. Now, for the first time in history, people can see that. And they could decide to work with you versus someone else that they just saw their face on the billboard.
Right.
So I think it's interesting because, like, I do believe that where it's going to go is the influence, positive, not negative, but positive, of individuals that are very good at their business. Like you guys are really good at it. You study to the point where you know everything everywhere. Well, but if you're hiding somewhere, no one can know that. But because of social media, everybody can know that.
Right.
But it takes a lot of
put yourself out there.
Get out there. I remember like a